Good day, everybody. In this video, we are going to be covering operations with fractions, addition, subtraction, and multiplying. So let's get to it. We're going to start off with addition. One thing that it is important for you to know is that you can only add fractions that are what we call like fractions, which means they have the same denominator. So here I have 1/6 and 4/6. Eventually, you will be able to add, say, 2/3 and 4/6, but to do so you have to convert them to like fractions. So you got to be able to say 2/3 is 4/6, so that would be 4/6 plus 4/6. We're not worrying about that right now, though. Right now you just need to understand how to add like fractions. So we've got 1/6 and 4/6. If I think about a circle, awesome circle, I know. Divide that into 6 parts, and those are 6 perfectly even parts. You can't tell any of them apart. I start with 1/6. Whoop. Okay, try that again. Start with 1/6. That's that one. And then I add to that 4/6. That would be that one. 2, 3, 4. How much of that circle is now shaded? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we can simplify this by not having to draw it every time. As long as my bottom number, my denominator there, is the same, we can just add the top numbers. So my denominator is going to stay the same all the way across. I'm going to add the numerators. 1 plus 4 is 5. And you can see in the visual there, we ended up with 1/6 and 4/6, we had 5/6. What if I throw into that a whole number? So now I'm adding mixed numbers. I generally recommend rewriting these vertically. So I end up having 3 3/5 plus 2 1/5. Now I can add the fractions. Remember, if my denominator is the same, it's going to stay the same in my sum as well. 3 plus 1 is 4. So 3/5 and 1/5 is 4/5. Then I just have to add the whole numbers. 3 and 2 is 5. Eventually there will be regrouping as well. So if I were to have had 3 and 4/5 plus 2 and 3/5, okay, down in the answer you end up getting 5 and 7/5. So you'd have to regroup that into a 1, and so you would have 6 and 2/5. But for now, we're not worrying about the regrouping. We're just worrying about adding the whole number and adding the fractions to get to your answer. It'll be very similar with subtraction as well. As long as they're like fractions, meaning that bottom number is the same, the bottom number is going to stay the same, the denominator is going to stay the same in the answer as well, and I'm just going to subtract the numerators. 3 subtract 2 is 1. If you want to visualize that, we have a circle, and I shade 1, 2, 3. Okay, but then I take away one of those. Oh, too much takeaway. Let me, then I take away one of those. Somewhere in the middle there, there we go. If I take away one of those shades, then I have, I guess I need to take away 2 of them because I subtracted 2/4. Okay, so if I take away 2 of those shades, and then just kind of fix up my lines so it's fourths again, then I now have 1/4 of it still shaded. So again, as long as that fraction is, or as long as those fractions are like fractions, meaning the bottom number is the same, you just keep that denominator and subtract the numerators. Well, I totally think I just messed that up. No, we're good. Okay, we're going to keep going. What about subtracting? That's my problem there. What about subtracting with the mixed numbers? Okay, same thing again. Now, as with the other one, this will eventually get a little more complicated, but for now we're just going to keep it simple. If I have 4 and 2/3 subtract 2 and 1/3, I'm going to start by subtracting the fractions. They're thirds, so my answer is thirds. 2 subtract 1 is 1. So 2/3 subtract 1/3 would be 1/3. And 4 subtract 2 is 2. 4 and 2/3 subtract 2 and 1/3 is 2 and 1/3. Again, rewrite those vertically. It helps with that place value again. Okay, it's the same thing with place value. I'm just keeping my fractions as their own little place value zone. You'll understand that once we review the decimals chapter. Okay, operations with fractions multiplying by a whole number. Okay, so I've got 3, 4, 6. Now remember, multiplication is the same as repeated addition. So I could write this out as 4/6 plus 4/6 plus 4/6. So I have 3 4/6. When I'm adding them, remember, my denominator stays the same. So then I just have 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 4 is 12. I have 12/6. If I were to simplify that into a mixed number, it's not actually a mixed number because 6 goes into 12 2 times. Exactly 2 times. There's no remainder, so there's no fraction. 12 over 6 is 2. You can get to that same 12/6 though a little bit easier because this is like 3 over 1, or just the idea of multiplying. If I've got 3 4s, that's 12, so just 3 times the 4, and then I keep that 6th, which is again the 2. There's one other term I want to introduce to you here, and that's the idea over here of unit fractions. A unit fraction is where my top number is 1. Okay. So in this case, we have fifths. So I want to write it as a product of unit fractions. My unit fraction is going to be 1/5. Now product, remember, means multiply. So if I have 9/5 and I want that as a product of 1/5, how many 1/5 do I have in 9/5? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 1/5. So my 9/5 as a product of a unit fraction is going to be 9 times that 1/5. Okay, that's the long and the short of it. Down and dirty, quick and done. If you need to review that one more time, because I did go through them kind of quick, it's only a 7-minute video, so go back and give it a watch again. Otherwise, go give the practice problems a shot. If you still have questions, reach out to me.